Hello friends, welcome back to Aunt Debbie's Boutique. Today we're continuing our series of Halloween decorations, and we are going to be making a kitchen towel. For that you're going to need a piece of fabric that is 16 inches wide by 27 inches long in length, and you can get 2 towels out of 3/4 of a yard. I picked this ghost print because it represents Halloween, but it's subtle and it won't conflict with our appliques that we're going to put on there. Then I did 3 pumpkins. You can do whatever you want, but I will have a pattern in my Etsy shop with my little pumpkin patterns. I just drew them hurriedly, and this is what I'm using. So if you would like to draw your own, I'm sure you're a better artist than I am, but this turned out pretty cute. Then you'll need 3 different fabrics and just a muslin, or you can even use used dryer sheets for the back of these, or just a scrap fabric, just something that won't show through. If you have a light fabric on top, you don't want anything too dark behind it. So we need, I'm doing 3 different size pumpkins, so I chose 3 different fabrics and cut a muslin backing for it. You also will need some sort of ribbon for the stems, some green ribbon of some sort, or even brown ribbon would work. I just didn't want to sew teeny tiny pieces for the stems, so that's why I chose to use ribbon. It's a whole lot easier. Okay, let's begin. The first thing we need to do is to hem our towel. Let me turn my board over here to get on the ironing side of it. And we want to put a double fold hem in it. That means we're going to turn it over. Want to make sure everything's on camera. It's hard to get the camera positioned so it's not in my way and you can see everything. So we're going to turn over 1/4 inch and then 1/4 inch again. And the way I like to do this is I iron over the first 1/4 inch like this. And then when I go to my machine, I will turn the next one, and it will fold real easily because we have a guide. So I'm going to go all the way around this and put the first fold in it. Now, when I go to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew on this side, I want to first turn that side down, and then I'll turn this one over, and we'll start stitching like that. And when I get to the bottom, I want to turn it up before I get there, and then make my final fold on this side. So let's go to the sewing machine and hem our towel. Now that my hem is sewn in, I'm going to give it a really good steam press so it'll lay nice and smooth. Now it's time to prepare our appliques. And what we're going to do is put right sides together on all three of our appliques. Of course, they're in the right side to this, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to 1/4 inch seam all the way around. And we don't have to leave an opening to turn it because we're just going to slit the back in the middle and turn it because it's going to be sewn down on our towel. So let's go to the machine and do that. Now I'm going to put a little slit right at the center, top and bottom. And then you can either continue to clip all the way around because we have lots of curves, or you can do what I do, and that is take a pair of pinking shears and trim it close to the seam, but do not cut the seam. Now I'm going to go on the back, and I'm going to use my seam ripper, but you can pull it apart and use your just your scissors if you want. But we want to make sure we only cut through our backing. And I'm just going to cut a little X back here. Now we're going to turn them right side out. And I'm going to iron them all. I'm trying not to let any of the white show, but sometimes that's easier said than done. See if I can get that a little bit better. But by the time we stitch it down, you probably won't notice it. Okay. Then we're going to arrange our pumpkins however we want. And you're probably thinking they don't look a lot like pumpkins so far, but they will, trust me. And I'm going to do just 3 little pieces of ribbon that I'm going to tuck under each one. And since I've already made one towel, I want to make sure this matches. Now see, don't they look like pumpkins? So I'm going to try to overlay mine at the same exact spots, so it's a matching set. Okay, I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine and I'm going to top stitch real close to the edge. And I'm going to start down here. Well, actually, I think I'll start in this corner, go around like this, and then I can take off on this one, and then I'll do this one. And then we're going to come back over and sketch our ribs. I guess that's what you call them, little indentions on there to stitch, because that's what makes them look like a real pumpkin. Okay, let's go to the sewing machine. Okay, we have our pumpkin stitched on. And so before I iron it real good, I want to use this heat sensitive pen and sketch my ribs on. Sometimes hard to see on that purple. Okay, that's basically where I'm going to sew. And once again, I'm going to sew down one of these lines, then go on top of the top stitching and go up again throughout the whole pumpkin, because I don't want a whole lot of loose threads to have to cut and trim. Now that we have all of our stitching done on there, I'm going to steam it real good, and that's going to erase my lines. And then I'm going to just steam the whole towel. Now you could also just purchase a towel, a blank towel, and put your appliques on it. But I doubt if you'd find anything that had little ghosts in the background or something Halloween. You do want to be cognizant of not having too busy of a background, or you will lose your appliques in there. So now we have a towel ready to hang in our kitchen next to our pot holders, close by to our table with everything else on it. And like pot holders, I like to have two, so I have a matched set. And that concludes our tutorial for today. I hope you've enjoyed it and learned something from it. I might add that I would probably, when I would stitch these for myself, use a coordinating thread. The reason I used this off-white thread was so it would stick out and you could see it real well. So I would probably stick with some oranges or purples when stitching something like this. I just wanted to make sure that we had enough contrast that you could see my stitching. Okay, thanks for joining me today, and tune in again next time for some more projects. If you would please like and subscribe, that would help me a great deal. And remember, whatever you do, do it to the glory of the Lord.